be like my mother, who took what she called NAPRA, which is putting on Oprah and taking a nap, 4 to 5. And I am the same in many ways, but I wanted to talk to you because I do believe that what GEAE does and what DCEA can do is important. And the question I want to ask is, how many of you have been through a RIF? Just me.
Reduction in force.
Reduction in force.
That's right.
Now, a reduction in force is when you would like to be a member of GAE. I remember that I had signed my contract. I had put a down payment on a home. And then over the summer, apparently they were looking for me, and even though I had put in my information at the school, Human Resources did not have it, and they were wanting to serve proceedings against me for a reduction in force. Now, I had to get on the phone the day, 2 days before this hearing was scheduled to get a lawyer. And I got it through my UNISERV director in DeKalb, through Michael Sears, and I had a lawyer the next day. And I can tell you that those who did not have lawyers did not have any means to fight, and they resigned. I myself, expecting nothing but doom and destruction ahead, because if you've looked at the numbers on RIF hearings, you know that the outcomes are not good. It is made for you to lose. On the other hand, I had been paying my DEAE dues for years because my mother, who was also an educator, she had told me that I should do that. And I had it. Now, what I need you to understand is that I won my RIF case. I sat through 5 to 6 tedious hours while my lawyer pounded at the other side's lawyers, and they did not expect for anyone to fight back. Because most of you cannot. Most of you do not have 10 grand on hand to get a lawyer to defend you. But GAE does, and I didn't have to pay anything back after this, win or lose. The other associations will compensate you if you win, or something of that nature. But I can guarantee you, I didn't pay a dime. Now, everybody at my school liked me, everyone was happy, so it wasn't like I expected this to happen. What you need to know is that misfortune can strike you at any time without you having done anything. And so when I say what membership can do for you, I never think about the discounts. I don't eat at those places. I don't rent my cars from such places either. But I like to think of it as a membership is like a first aid kit. It's better to have and not need than need and not have. Now, as some have said earlier, we are a right-to-work state. We lack protections as a result, but if you are a member of GAE, you can and will receive due process, which is something that many of your colleagues, should it come to that, they will not receive. They should receive it, but unfortunately it takes money to receive your rights in the state and every part of the country, and it's not getting better. In that sense, GAE was there for me, and when I found out that I won my RIF case, I was surprised. I could not believe that such a thing would happen. But not only did I keep my job, everybody who had not resigned yet, as they began to wait the outcome of the RIF hearing, their proceedings were ceased as well. So not only could you possibly save your own job, you may save the jobs of others. So, now, the thing about this state is they want to put the burden on you. They lean in, it's like gambling, it's like they got a big stack of chips, and they lean right into you, their chairs forward hoping you fold. And if you do not have the resources to lean back and find out what they've really got, then you will fold. But often, they are bluffing. GAE allows you to call their bluff. Remember, the state of Georgia underfunds education. We are underfunded at every level. This means they are underfunded and overtasked as well, just like you. And often, no matter their position, they often fail to follow the process evaluation with fidelity. They have to do certain things. But if you don't go and get a hearing, or lack the means to do so, it can and will be your word against theirs. So, that's their primary strategy. It relies on you refusing or being unable to fight for your rights. Now, is that ideal? Would I like to live in a union state? I certainly would. Our salaries would be better. We would have more protections. We would have recourse to unprofessional behavior by our colleagues. And of course, what I've noticed is that even in the smallest places, they often need transparency more than anywhere else. Now, you need to understand GAE will defend you and not ask for a dime, win or lose, and that's why it costs more. I just want to emphasize that to you all. Now, I realize that the City Schools of Decatur is a great place to work, but nonetheless, their concerns exist. I have mine, I am sure that you have yours, and of course, because you do lack certain protections, it can possibly go awry for you without you even knowing how. Now, in my opinion, some things are not as professional and equitable as I should like them to be, or as professional as we could hope. And that is why I believe membership matters here as much as anywhere. Either way, on the state level, this is important to remember, they fight against abominable legislation passed by those who have nothing but smiles for you. They always say how much they appreciate us teachers. Oh, they love the work you do, and they sure would like more of it, but they don't want to pay for it. And if they could replace you with a machine, they would love to do it. Now they say it, but if you look at their actions, those actions underscore how little they care. In my entire career, which is going on 16 years now, I have never had until this year, and I'm not quite sure it's the case, a fully funded budget by the state of Georgia. Think about that. They have this law in the book saying this is how we should fund the schools. They have not done it. They will not do it, and this causes problems at every level. So, we have our words, and then we have our deeds. Now, I'm more than halfway to retirement when you think about it. So, in every state, and everywhere across this nation, powerful interests, moneyed interests, people that want to privatize or make a buck or just eliminate the private schools for charters. Look who's the president of, or the Secretary of Education. She is not your friend at all. So, they do strive to undermine and marginalize organizations like this because they do work. And if everyone who claims to care about education with our great culture of caring put a little bit of their money where they say their mouth is, education in Georgia for everyone, students, teachers, staff, every last, all demographics, everybody, from every last, even the very least, would receive the respect and accord they all deserve, not only in word, but in deeds. I mean, look at the deeds. When you look at who you vote for, look not at what they say, because talk is cheap. Look at what they have done. If you're not a member, I urge you to join. If you are a member, I ask you to become involved to serve, to recruit your colleagues, and be in touch with your officers, because without your involvement, your interest, we're nothing. If I have been a president of a local before, and even though I've represented my constituents, I hardly ever heard from my constituents. So how could I possibly go to Dr. Avosa, who was a Fulton County superintendent at the time, and claim to speak for people who never speak to me? Now, I realize that this is a small gathering. Nonetheless, great things can have small beginnings. So, thank you for your time. Have a great day.
Thank you.